Hello Virgo, this is a tarot reading for you for February. Usually I prefer to do timeless readings, but I thought that maybe once a month I'm going to do a monthly reading. For this reading I'm using my own tarot cards, and I call them the duality tarot cards or tarot of duality. And at the end I'm going to pull some extra cards from 2 other tarot decks I just made in the last 2 days. Also, I want to mention that you might hear some annoying noises in the background because my neighbors are very loud, even though it's in the late evening already. It's unfortunately very often this way. Just let me dive into the reading. I feel like there's something about cleaning. Maybe you will do a very early spring cleaning or something like that. There's something about, decluttering as well. I feel like you feel the need for some structure and order for emptying unnecessary stuff out. And I feel like this is, the more superficial aspect of that thing. But I feel like it has a deeper meaning for you. Maybe you have just gone through a breakup, a divorce, or maybe, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. I feel it is for many not a friendship or something. Maybe you moved, or maybe you will soon move, or you left a job behind. I feel like you left something very burdening behind, or if it wasn't entirely draining or burdening, it was something that just gave you a feeling of chaos on both levels, internally and externally, and I feel like you will get rid of stuff. Maybe stuff that reminds you of someone, maybe stuff that you didn't just use, but you somehow felt you had to keep it because maybe one day you will have to use it again. And then, you were afraid if you throw it away, you would throw it away prematurely, and then you will regret it. This stuff. And I feel like maybe the memories or the use of whatever it is that you're throwing out, that you had some emotional connection to this, and I think it was not a positive emotional connection, even if we sometimes think that it was something that was energetically, emotionally, and mentally burdening us in some sense. And then we we hang on to it a little bit. But I feel like you will just have this need for emptiness, for a fresh, new, clean space. Could be literally your apartment, and as I said already, just in your emotions, in your energy. I also feel like you will feel that you are on the right path, that you will be sure whatever decision you make to throw someone or something out, you will feel that it's right. You will be assured that it was not the wrong decision. There will be a feeling of completeness, like something will be whole. You feared that when you throw something away or when you break up with someone, you will feel the opposite. You might feel lack. You might feel that you miss this thing or this person. But I feel like actually the opposite will be the case. And then with the death card, it just confirms everything I already said. It's not a literal death. It's just a death of something or of a situation. And it could also just be literally you throwing stuff away, not a skull. But, the skull could just represent all kinds of stuff. That it could also just represent your mental clutter, like something you constantly thought about again and again, and it was just bothering or burning you, you are just throwing that out, and it feels quite good. In the second row, we have the ego, mouse, joy, and irresponsibility. So there are a little bit of negative cards in there, but I still have a good feeling about this, especially because you have the joy card, and it feels very genuine, and it's like overshadowing or overlightening the other cards. I feel like the mouse and small card, this belongs together with the ego card. It feels like something, if there was a lot of tension or drama in your social life, in your squad or in your family, something you perceived as very big, you always saw it through a magnifier, and maybe it is very big also for the people involved, but I feel like you never were really involved into this drama, you never wanted to get sucked into this. But you know, sometimes people are like that, they want to suck everyone into it. And maybe that also burdened and bothered you. And like I feel like this card is just telling me, on one hand, you will be the outstanding person watching this, smiling like, oh God, I'm so glad I'm not a part of this. And the distance will just grow also internally, because sometimes we can avoid people in our external life and not meet them anymore. But in our thoughts and emotions, we still feel that stress. And I feel like there's a relief to that too. And also the mouse and small card is telling me that in your perception, like you will not see it through a magnifier anymore, but you know, like more from a bird's perspective, like the problem will get very small in your eyes, and you will just be able to laugh about it and to feel joyous. And to be with yourself somehow. With the irresponsibility card, I have to be honest, I have to think a little bit about it, because right at this moment I don't know how to connect it to the rest of all of it. Just give me some seconds, please. It's actually not a good card, but sometimes the not so good card appear as something good in my readings as well. Also, sometimes the positive looking card, when I see them in the context of the reading, they also don't always stand for something positive. So I have to be careful about that. It's totally unlogical, but I very strongly feel like you might be doing something that is perceived by others as irresponsible, but it's not. And they feel that way about it because they are being left out by you, and you are not making them a part of whatever it is. Maybe it's a new hobby, or maybe you are meeting a new person, or I'm not getting this irresponsible vibe from you in this reading. And I think you're just doing something for yourself, like something that feels good and right to you, and something that maybe if the situation was about a family or a squad, you know, there are always group dynamics in each group, and maybe it's something that this group did not represent. I don't know, it's the only example that comes to my mind. Maybe if there's some certain opinion or mindset, for example, about politics. And the whole group was always about a certain party or something, and now you meet someone who is for another party and you change your mind and you also think that this is a good thing, and then they will feel like it's very irresponsible and they will try to warn you, but actually it's the right thing. Or, I don't know, a change of religion, or I mean, those are more drastic and important things. It could be even something more superficial, or just like a nutrition style, or taste in music, like maybe you and your squad always went to punk rock concerts and now you're becoming a heavy metaler. You know, it's a stupid example, but you know, just something like that. And then they will try to warn you, oh, you're going into the wrong direction, you're choosing the wrong paths, you're being irresponsible. But I feel like you're not. You're just doing something for yourself, and you're just becoming more honest with yourself. That's how I feel. At the bottom of the deck we have the flow card, and it's just a very nice card in addition to the rest of the spread. I feel like it's just what you're doing, like you're being more authentic, you're being more in tune with yourself, you're going with the flow, not in an obedient and blind way. You know, there's also a negative kind of going with the flow, like not questioning things and just blindly following everyone or following large groups just because it's a bigger amount of people. But I don't get that sense here. It's just a very harmonious card with the rest of the cards together. It's just like, it also shows me a sense of future, like you're not looking back, you're just entirely and with total completeness leaving something behind, and you will never regret that. That's how it feels. And we have soul, so maybe you will feel more spiritual. Summer, burden and authenticity. Those cards together just confirm what I already talked about. Like maybe, yeah, you're just leaving a burden behind because you became more authentic with yourself. And now let me introduce you to my new tarot decks. I know the drawings are not very pretty. I just did them very quickly and impatiently, just within, I don't know, 2 hours or something. So this is my lifestyle tarot card deck. It's about food and certain activities and health. And the other one are the animal messages. It's a little bit sarcastic. It's maybe too sarcastic for some people, I don't know. It's not, you know, the tacky kind of tarot cards with angel messages and animal messages, and then they tell you something very tacky and exaggerated. And I haven't finished this this deck. It has only 25 cards. In the next days, I'm planning to add some more. And this card I haven't even colorized because my gray pencil dried out, or my felt tip pen, so it's not complete, but I will use it anyway. And before I pull some of the lifestyle cards, please don't take this literal and too serious. I do not replace your doctor, so if there's something regarding your health, be careful with that and use your discernment, please. Oh, and the reason why I'm shuffling these cards in front of the camera and the others not is because they are of a thicker paper, and those are just on a thin paper, and whenever I shuffle them it looks very terrible and it takes quite a long time, so it would just be a waste of time in the recording. So I always do that before I start filming. So let me pull, the first card. Danger. Oh my god. I don't know what that refers to. Oh, maybe towards the irresponsibility card, or to the next card I'm going to pull here. Come on. Learn. It's not sharp. Candle. Maybe when you learn, you have to be careful to not fall asleep so that your candle burn your apartment. No, that's not what I'm getting actually from the cards. I want to pull one more. Treat yourself. And at the bottom of the deck, sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. So I feel like treat yourself and sleep just means that maybe you deserve a break physically, but also, you know, regarding whatever situation you left behind and the people who are still trying to pull you back into the situation, you deserve to withdraw from that, to release yourself from that without any guilt. Maybe you have also worked a lot, and maybe on top of the literal work that you had to do, you also had a lot of emotional and mental stress, so you deserve to just rest and to, I don't know, give yourself something nice. And I think the danger card I'm feeling now is just referring to this situation with the people who might try to, you know, this person here, oh, you're being irresponsible, and, you know, this ego card here, the people who are trying to pull you back into the drama, that this is a warning, like to not get sucked back into that. The learn card, I would just extract it from this, you know, just isolate it from the rest of the reading. I mean, it could mean that you have to learn something about human behavior, but I think that's just on the side because you anyway already learned that. That's how I feel. I just think that maybe during February you have to learn something for school, university, and even if you're an adult. Some adults also go to school because they learn something new, or they learn a language, or they relearn something that they once learned and forgot because many years passed. It could be anything. Maybe you're just taking classes. It could also mean that you want to learn something new. It could also be something here that you are choosing for yourself because you're just interested and it gives you joy. Like maybe, because I said earlier in the reading, maybe you choose a new hobby and some perceive it as dangerous. I don't know, like climbing or bungee jumping, and then people will try to warn you, but you really want to learn this new thing. And candle, in a metaphoric sense, it just enlightens something within you. It also gives warmth, but I also take it quite literally here. It's February, it's dark, it's cold, and maybe candles can just help you to, you know, sleep. I mean, you shouldn't fall asleep while your candles are on, but before you fall asleep, or maybe if you had problems falling asleep, you can put a small candle on your night table and shut off the artificial light. That's what I sometimes like to do, because it calms me down to just be in a dark apartment where I can still see all the necessary stuff by candlelight. I don't know, I think it has something very soothing. And yeah, it could just help you relax and calm down and make you tired quicker because, I don't know, we have the full lights on in our apartment and then watch TV. Maybe that's also sometimes the reason why we can't fall asleep, because our brains are overstimulated all the time. And yeah, I think the candle just stands for treat yourself, relax, be with yourself a little bit. Now I'm going to pull the animal messages. Sheep, I follow you. I think the opposite for you is true. You don't follow anyone anymore. You only follow your own path. You only follow your own flow. And that's just what this card confirms. Next one. The cow, I'm sensitive and underrated. this could just mean, that maybe those people around you, they just weren't appreciating you. And maybe, sometimes when people feel very cool and tough, they think that sensitive people are weak, but sensitive people are not weak. So I think somehow also this card gives me a vibe like you will gain a lot of self-respect in a very healthy way. And you will appreciate your sensitivity. And you will not be around people who underrate you. Snail, I'm homely and leisurely or leisurely. I think, I never know how to pronounce this. I think there are 2 different ways to pronounce this. I'm German, so, my English is not always perfect. So I think, it just suits the candle card very well, and the sleep card. Learning, usually we also, I think maybe some people prefer to learn in a, oh my God, I forgot the English word. The huge place where you can borrow a lot of books. I'm supposed to know this word. Maybe I should learn this month as well. You know what I mean. Some people prefer to learn there. I never understood this. I always want to learn at home. So I think you will just be spending a lot of time at home during February, especially if it's cold outside anyway. You can just withdraw, clean your apartment, learn whatever new thing you want to learn. I just want to pull one more card. I'm lazy and I know it, the sloth. I don't perceive this as negative in your reading. As I said, sleep, treat yourself, candle, or at least regarding or according to my reading, you are entitled to be lazy. It's not always a bad thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it here. At the bottom of the deck we have the cuckoo. I avoid responsibility. As I told you, I made them very sarcastic cards, but they don't have to be interpreted in a negative way all the time. So maybe it's just your damn right at the moment to avoid responsibility because you're not responsible for people's drama. I will leave it here. Thank you so much for watching.